written production of the Recreation Centers of Sun City Incorporated and is intended for the sole purpose of informing our Recreation Center members. Any duplication, copying, transmission, broadcast, or use, including electronic and social media, is strictly prohibited without the prior written consent from the Recreation Centers of Sun City Incorporated. Thank you for watching.
To do that. Well, in 1960, we didn't have cell phones. We didn't have microwaves. Good grief. We need our committees, our rules, our bylaws to fit how things are today and to include as many of our members as possible. Thank you.
Thank you.
Steve Wright, 160117, or excuse me, 130117. You stated earlier that there was a federal statute that prevented you from having an executive meeting right now. What is that statute?
Again, right now, an executive session would be for personnel or for legal matters.
What's the statute that you quoted?
I didn't quote one.
Yes, you did.
I didn't.
Go on record. You're on record. No. You said there's a federal statute that I can't.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I said that. And I
okay, what is that? Ms. Wilson, would you have her tell us what that statute is?
Secretary Lear.
Okay, I will repeat this. I am not a lawyer.
I didn't ask for a lawyer's opinion. I asked the statute that you quoted.
There are about 5 or 6, actually.
Name 3.
You want me to give the name of the
statute that you're quoting?
Okay, well, okay, you know what? Just everybody calm down. I'm doing the best I can. Are you looking up the statute?
She's looking them up.
She's going to look them up. There's about 5.
So you don't know them off the top of your head, so are you making them up?
No. No, I'm not, sir. You know, I think just maybe giving people the benefit of the doubt that.
And that's why we're here.
Absolutely. And you know.
I rest my case.
Okay. Well, and I guess as long as I have the microphone, I'm going to just say something. You know what? A lot of the motions that came forward today, personally, I think are very good. I don't agree with everything, but I agree with a lot of it. But unfortunately, for the members to make a change to the bylaws or the articles of incorporation, you have to have 10%, and even this quorum is not 10%. So you can't vote on it. Legally, you can't do it.
And who wrote that law?
I did not write that law. Whoever is talking from the back, that is not a true statement. You know, the state of Arizona has rules about open meetings and how much, and we don't necessarily fall into that group. But I think instead of beating us up, come and tell us why you want these, which I thought they did a very good. Please, please. You know, you want answers, but you don't allow us to speak. I think a lot of what you brought up was very good. And the fastest way to incorporate some of that stuff is to have the board discuss it and bring it up in a meeting, because it still has to go through 3 readings of the board. Otherwise, your other option, ma'am, please, your other option is to get 10% of the members of this corporation, which is over 3,000.
Waive it.
We can't do that. You know, we have rules because I didn't make the rules. The rules have been there. The rules are there to protect the majority of the members. If you have 300 people who are going to change everything, you know, that's not protecting the 33,000 people who actually live here. I'm sorry.
Madam President?
No. This is for member. Okay. Can we let a member speak, and then I'll come back to you, Steve? Okay.
My name is Lynette Brower, 34152. I would like to request a 180-degree turn from the request for the board to meet and suddenly make some kind of recommendation or decision. I've been through a bylaws rewrite myself, making them consistent with the Articles of Incorporation and statutes. And the bylaws I worked with were only about 15 pages long. Now, I haven't read your bylaws or your articles, I admit that, but I'm getting the sense that there's some confusion between the articles and the bylaws, and there may be some even contradiction in the bylaws. And having been through that process myself, I know that can happen. This is a challenge. So what I would like to see in the coming year is a really transparent process with community involvement in a total examination of these bylaws, because it sounds like they're a mess. And take into consideration what these recommendations are today, and to come back to a quorum with recommendations from the board, not a decision from the board. That's not the kind of board I served on, but recommendations from the board to the membership to say, we are proposing this rewrite of the bylaws, and take a holistic look, or you're going to have another hodgepodge of stuff that may or may not contradict. So that's kind of what I'm putting together from all this craziness, mess I'm hearing this morning. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Now, Director Collins?
Thank you. Now, folks, if I could make this happen right now for a vote, I would, but I can't, because we're under the same rules that were written. So the first step is to change the rules, which you're doing today. You put things together to start to change them. And you can do this until they read what you want, but we can't do it all in one day. This is what has been laid out over the years. We have to live with them until we change them. So please, just have a little patience, keep working forward at it, and you will be able to change them.
Okay.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Ron Pasick, member 119179. I'm kind of upset that we can't do any changes because of some Arizona revised statutes or U.S. Code of Regulations that don't allow you to vote on certain stuff that we proposed today. So this is nothing but seems to me, a 3-hour bitch session from the membership. And by the way, I recommend that we form a House of Members to get together and send you bills and stuff to revise the bylaws and stuff. Another thing I saw earlier, the budget was very good, but I understand that was from the membership annual dues. Earlier today, there was nothing about the PIF and the status of the Mountain View $40 million cluster follow-up, as I perceive it. So, and I'm wondering how that $4.2 million golf shed behind Lakeview, which I agree with, by the way, something had to be done there. And I can't think of anything else to say right now.
Okay, thank you.
So I'll yield my time.
Carol Harrington, 113970. I have so many feelings right now, and I'm an ADHD person, so it's just... But I feel you have been very successful. Take that as a compliment, not a beat up. You have been very successful in doing absolutely nothing but block what your membership is asking you to do. I can't even count how many different statutes, bylaws, articles of incorporation you have thrown out there that have contradicted each other. Yep. You just keep finding reasons to not listen to us. I'm overwhelmed. You saw, you heard what this membership body wanted to do on that issues, because I'm not going to call them motions, and I'm not going to call them recommendations, and I'm not going to call them whatever you just called them, Mr. Collins, because that's where we're trapped. We are trapped by the language we're using to contradict each other. We are trapped by you using excuses. I'm not up to date on the Karen McAdam thing, but I'd really like to know, did you call an executive session then? And if so, how the hell did you do that if it's against the law? It appears that you use these things to your benefit, not ours. And I am so dismayed by that I can't even think. My husband would kill me if I volunteered to serve on anything. But you've actually made me want to. And that's a scary thing, because you don't want to put me anywhere near a microphone or near a petition gathering or near a proxy gathering. You don't want me anywhere near that stuff. Yeah, we do. Again, Carol Harrington. 113970.
Hello, my name is Gail Heinzelman. My number is 104423. The basic thing I walk away with is the fact that you're not prepared for the meeting. This whole thing could have been different if you had seen the agenda and you had prepared to respond to this by saying either these are the items and this is what we're looking at changing those. Why are you not prepared to discuss this?
Wait for an answer.
Oh, you know what?
Yeah, what?
We were not able to get together as a board because we have other things to do, and we had to call a board meeting. We couldn't do that.
Well,
so you don't ever want, you don't want to hear the answer, but you want me to answer, right?
Ma'am, so no, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. I'm trying to be brief here.
You don't want to hear
but I think that if there is a requirement to get information to you, to be on the agenda, to be addressed at a meeting, because that's what a meeting is. A meeting is to discuss, negotiate, hear from both sides, and I think that's the part, we wouldn't have to worry about all of the, it's this, it's this, it's this, it's, you can't do that. But if we could be prepared, if you would be prepared. And I think that's the part that's really hard, is I'm looking at all of you, you're intelligent people, and I don't envy you, your spot right now, but you're not prepared to discuss this at all. Not at all. And you all had it to read it. You may not have to get together, but you can talk on a Zoom call. There is a way to get together for you to have been prepared. Why have us all here if you're not prepared? Thank you.
Mark Swain, 144244. I just want to tell you guys, you're in a hard spot. You've done the best you could do that you think you can do. Like that lady said just before me, you didn't come prepared. Anybody that's ever ran a meeting or ran in a position that you've run, and I have done that, comes prepared. That meeting, that little 5-digit deal that we had, you had time to look at. Every one of you did. You could have made a decision. You could have talked to each other. We all have cell phones. We all have emails. Everybody knows how to talk to each other, and it can happen really quick if you want it to. You're here to listen to this is a community. I'm a part of the community. You're a part of the community. When I was a kid, I got yelled at by my dad when I did wrong. That's what's happening here. As I grew up, I had to ask my dad for forgiveness, which I did. As I got older, I was in charge of my own kids. I made them do what they were supposed to do. We're asking you to do what you're supposed to do. Now that I'm an old man, I'm not standing back listening to somebody tell me what to do. I know what to do and what's supposed to happen. And so do you guys. We ask that you make it work the way it's supposed to happen, not just on special interest, but by what needs to happen for this community, for the best part of this community, because we are a community and we like this community. And we're here because we're responsible. We're not little kids. We're old people now. We deserve the right to have a say in our community. And we ask that you listen to us.
Marcy Hyman, 158890. I just came for one quick comment. I keep hearing for the best interest of the corporation. I do believe you are here for the best interest of the homeowners. We are the people that elected you here. You are supposed to be listening to us, okay? I'm tired of hearing pledges to the corporation, okay? I am standing here, I'm not only a resident, I'm an employee, and I probably will not have a job after standing here, but I am appalled. I am absolutely appalled at every excuse that you guys have come up with to not listen to the people in this audience. They came here to let you know how they felt, okay? We deserve to be heard, and we deserve to have our questions answered. We need to be represented. And if you are not representing us, then we will seek others, okay? We need to seek others, because I watched these meetings too before I moved here, and I watched the condescension of people that were coming up, and you people would roll your eyes and bow your head and not pay attention and not look at people. And I've watched it happen here today too. And I'm watching our residents walk out the door shaking their head, not knowing what to do. Yep. We are asking for you to please listen to us. Okay? We're the people that are paying the PIFs. We're paying all of this. You guys rammed through Mountain View, rammed through without all the votes. But you won't have a meeting here today to listen to the people? Come on, you guys. You know better. You do. So maybe listen to the people who put you here, rather than taking the power and running it the way you want it. Your obligation is to us, the homeowners, not the corporation.
Brent Dickens, 150445. Little shocked today. I thought I'd come check this out since I got everybody in an uproar about what's been happening lately. And the part I'm really shocked about is when you first started taking the members' comments. One of the first women to come up here was speaking and saying something to the board, that you guys are here to represent us as board members. And the shocking thing about it is, I don't want to get the pronunciation wrong, but the gentleman at the far end here, the whole time she was saying it is shaking his head no. Yeah. Okay, I'm shocked at that, but as I hear the lady right before me speak, saying basically the same thing, the gentleman over here in the purple is over here shaking his head. No, you're not here to represent us, because apparently, at least you two that I noticed, because she did say we're watching you and you're not listening to us. So as we're watching you, and I wasn't staring at you guys the whole time, but I noticed you shaking your head no. I noticed you just now shook your head no at the woman speaking that you're supposed to represent us. It's like you guys think you're on the board, you can do what you want. If you're doing such a great job, why is there this many people here for the first time since 2009? Something ought to change. So I do have a question. My question is, I understand how we get members on the board. There's voting. I haven't heard anyone talk about this, so that's why I'm here. How do you get members off the board if you don't like the job they think they're doing well, but others don't agree they're doing well? So what's the procedure to have somebody removed from the board? I understand if somebody goes on vacation, you guys could get rid of them. Unless I understood that wrong, but somebody was on the board and you guys got rid of them. How do we, as members, get any say-so? Because it sounds like if you want to vote for something like this, you have to bring it up and wait maybe a year for you to get back to us. So what's the answer? If you can't provide the answer, I'd love to hear the answer from somebody back here that might know the answer. How do you remove people from the board? I hope to see you all at Fry's signing up petitions to recall anybody that you feel is really not doing a good job. That'd be great. But since you're going to consider the motion earlier, I'm just going to finish. As I considered the motion earlier, maybe we'll be doing it on these premises. Thank you.
Good morning. Dottie Parity, 113284. Madam President, members of the board, first off, I want to thank you for your service. And it's a thankless job, I'm sure you're seeing today by the attitude here. I'm going to state a fact that people aren't going to like. I came into this meeting this morning, and I knew that they were unable to vote on any of those agenda items based on the bylaws that were changed. I don't know when they were changed, but that bylaw was changed many years ago, sometime within the last 5 to 10 years, I believe. I'm not sure. I really thank everybody for coming here, but I'm going to tell you something. If you had wanted to change that bylaw, if you had read it about the annual meeting before you came here, you could have gone to a meeting and also asked one of the board of directors to make a motion to change it months ago, a year ago, 3 years ago. Instead of being angry that their hands are tied because of a bylaw that was changed many years ago. I make an attempt to go to every single board of directors meeting. That's twice a month. I try to go there. I don't always go. But when I go, I know the corporate bylaws. I've read them. Have you? Many people don't even know what the rules and regulations, the bylaws, the corporate documents are all about. And as a member of the corporation, a homeowner here in Sun City, it's my obligation to know the rules and regulations, not only the bylaws for the clubs that I belong to, but the corporation. And if I want something changed, I go to the meetings where I can speak. I talk to the board of directors. I ask one of them if they agree with me to bring a motion forward, and then it gets changed or it doesn't based on their investigation of what I'd like done. So it's great to see everybody here today, but I'm going to ask you all, attend the board of directors meetings, get out here and know the rules, know what's going on, and then make the changes. But they can't vote on anything today, and it's not their fault. They were not on the board when those changes were made. Thank you.
So Karen McAdam, 122045. So a number of people have referenced the last board meeting on December 6th, and I also was rather appalled, and it led me to actually write a letter to all of you on the board that I sent on the evening of December 6th. To this day, have not received a response from any of you about it, but I would like for the rest of the members of the corporation or of the community here to hear what I had written. Dear RCSC board members, while this may very well not make any difference at all, the hope that perhaps it might leads me to risk sharing a few thoughts with you. At today's meeting, someone asked you about the legacy you wish to leave behind, a question of some non-trivial significance. While I do not doubt that your initial interest in serving the Sun City community arose from some degree of altruism, and while I willingly acknowledge and applaud your hard work in the absence of any expectation of financial return, you are no doubt aware that during the course of this year, a significant portion of the community has lost its trust in you. At a critical point when you could have striven to restore that trust today, you failed. Number one, what would it have cost you to tell the membership at what point during this week you would post the aggregate number of validated proxies for the upcoming annual membership meeting? You doubled down instead and refused to divulge that information until the start of the Monday meeting, while you clearly will know that figure before this week is out. Number two, you insist that Article 4, Section 4 of the bylaws is the only operational guide for this meeting. The good folks of this town are able to read, however, and know that you are clinging to a slender reed of interpretation that virtually eviscerates genuine member input, while clearly contradicting both neighboring bylaws and superseding corporate articles. And Dottie, I would just like to say that I believe you are wrong. There is no bylaw that restricts vote from taking place. Have you any idea how dumbfounded, dismayed, and angry the community is that you are refusing to allow the members to vote during their meeting after they have moved mountains to try to satisfy almost impossible quorum requirements to have this meeting properly constituted? And number three, Mr. Tolan deserved a different response than he received today. That, by the way, is a recall petition. It'd be hard to come by a more compelling definition of stonewalling than what he has experienced over the past 3 months. You, of course, are free to chart your own course of action or inaction this week. While my voice is perhaps not the one you would choose to hear, please consider this. You could still take measures this week to abate the outrage that is simmering in the community. You could celebrate the renewed level of member involvement by not only posting the agenda of the membership meeting.
Let her finish.
Are you in time to work? Thank you.
Okay, there you go. We got 3 more minutes.
Oh, you know what? Excuse me, Madam President. I have sit here and I have listened to her come up here several times, and I've heard everybody talk. I have to say this. Karen, you know that we had an exec meeting earlier, like in February or March, and we talked about issues. You also asked for a meeting with the management, and you had a meeting with management, and they discussed issues. You also asked for a meeting with board members. You had that meeting with board members. There was 3 occasions that you had issues, and they were discussed before that very last exec meeting, and you know that. So you were aware of what was going on. And I'm tired of you lying to people and drinking the Kool-Aid.
My name is Joseph Picari. My number is 149848. I have just a little bit of background. For the last 50 years, I have worked with boards of directors, served on boards of directors, been president of board. I've written bylaws. I have surveyed organizations and reviewed their bylaws, corrected their bylaws, and gave them a consultation regarding their bylaws. You have not been following your bylaws. And the fact that, and it's also, whether it's law or not, it's extremely good practice for any organization to review its bylaws annually. And it's also good practice for the board to first review any possible changes, then present it to the membership. You have not done that. You presented the changes, the recommendations, the sections before you even reviewed them. So you weren't prepared, as was said before, for this meeting. And I think that that has what's caused everything that's happened here today. Because if you had been prepared and been presented these as proposals, I think we would have been out of here an hour ago. So, first of all, I would like to second the motion or the idea that was made by two previous members about having a special committee, ad hoc committee perhaps, whatever you want to call it, set up of members to review all the bylaws. And I'd be willing to serve on that committee. To make sure that the bylaws are consistent with federal, state, and any other regulations that may oversee this organization, and get those bylaws presented. Once those are presented, the board can review them and then present them to the full membership. However, I'm a little dismayed about the fact that there may not be a membership meeting for the next year before this happens. You know, I think that there should be an emergency membership meeting to approve any bylaws that are established. So I would, as I said, first, we need to have a committee. The committee needs to review the bylaws, and then the committee needs to present them to the membership. In order to make the membership work to approve these, I would like to make a motion right now that one thing be approved, that the quorum be reduced to 500 immediately. Is there a second? Yes, you can.
No.
I know the rules.
But you have brought up an agenda item that we will definitely look at.
Oh, we
That's
look
one to
at, and then we won't vote on for next year.
Time is up.
Is that right? Or 10 years, 11 years from now? No.
Sir, I'm sorry, but I appreciate what you have said.
You as a board are
Okay,
able
but
to
your
make
time
that
is up,
decision.
and I'm sorry to interrupt you, but your time is up.
I know that.
Thank you.
But you are, as
Thank
a
you.
board, able to do that.
Thank you.
Madam
Thanks for cutting
President.
my mic off.
This is member
Yes. Okay, guys, this is member comments. Let's let the members comment.
I want to speak.
Without, Steve, let us have the member comments, please. Okay.
My name is Helena Hensley, and my number is 150839. I've been here for about 2.5 years, and I think that Sun City is very nice and clean and so forth, but I have one question. Why are the annual fees for a single person the same as for a couple? And then when you have someone living with you for a short term, then they have to pay half of those fees to get into the amenities.
The assessments are based on household. It's not based on individuals. The reason that they went with that method of doing it was because of being able to budget our finances. It is tough to do that if you're going per person because you never know how many. So the reason that they went with per house was in order to be able to do the budget.
But then if another person lives there for...
If they're not on the deed. They have to be a deeded owner to be a card holder.
I don't think it's fair, but...
Okay. I'm sorry, sir, this is your second time.
I'm sorry, but you're not in session. You said
I'm sorry, sir. This is your second time, and we have people who are wanting to speak for the first time.
Just be real quick.
They want...
Call an emergency meeting of the board and vote on this, on item number 3 if nothing else.
Cy Zuckerman, 152969. This is on a totally unrelated matter.
I attended our annual meeting for the pickleball club, and we were discussing donating money to various charities. And we found out that if we give a charity $500, we also have to give you $500. Yeah, that's something we have to do. How do we change that? You're not a charity. You collect money. You got $20 million in the bank. How do we stop giving you money when we want to give it to a charity?
The reason that was put in there was because with a lot of the clubs, if you're donating, you don't pay for electricity, you don't pay for water. Whoa, 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 whoa.
I don't want to hear anything.
You're not paying for the personal space. All of this takes fees. That's why they have that, so that it's matched. If there is one that you don't want, there is one that you can donate to that doesn't have to have matching to the RCSC, and that is the foundation.
Okay, but that's Sun City. I understand.
It does not benefit RCSC, it benefits foundation, it benefits the low-income people in our community.
Okay, there's $259,000 coming in from clubs. I saw on your income statement. Does that include the charity money?
Bill or Kevin?
Who knows that?
So I would have to go back and look at the entire 259. I don't know the exact makeup of that. I know a lot of that also comes from utilization of some of the space when the club uses the space. So I'd have to look at that.
I would like to know, because if it
item.
doesn't, then you're getting, $250,000 from the clubs, and you're still making a profit every year. You don't need to take the $500 that we want to give to a charity that we could double and give them $1,000 instead of having to give you $500. That's all.
I believe this is your second time?
Yes, but no one's in line.
You know what, I've asked today for first time, only one time, 3 minutes, just because of the fact that we do have a large capacity.
What's the rule? I don't care what you asked for, what's the rule?
That is the rule for today because we're talking.
Where was it? I never saw it.
It's a managerial rule.
Where is he? Did you approve it?
It is a managerial rule, and there are people behind you that haven't spoken for the first time.
They didn't start in line when I came up here. Nobody was in line. I'm going to say it whether you want to listen to it or not, because that's why I'm up here.
Okay.
I'm Cyril Sukup, 13107. I'm up here to say all I've heard today from the board is I can't, we don't, nothing about it. That's a good idea. Let's do something about that. I have not heard anybody when we ask you, how long will it take you to do to review these motions that were, whatever they're called on the board? Well, we don't know. Yes, you know. It takes 2 minutes, 3 minutes.
No.
Set up a committee. Can you do that? Can you set up a committee to look at those, respond back to you in 2, 3, 4 weeks? We'll do it on the board. All you have to do is say, that's what we'll do. But all you do is say, we can't, we don't. How about once saying, even to me right now, you say, I can't. How about changing your whole attitude to say, yes, we will do that. Thank you.
Madam President.
Okay, hold on. Director Collins, keep in mind, this is a member meeting, so as a board, you should be listening. Yes.
I am listening. I will take every bylaw change that you guys put in here today, and I will make a motion for the first meeting in January because it's too late to do it for our next meeting. So then you will get a yes or a no.
Mike Dvorak, number 125395. I'm a third-generation member of Sun City. I don't believe that there's any place that you can live as economically as you can in Sun City in retirement. I'm kind of at a loss here because maybe I just don't understand. But what's the member meeting, what's it for in the first place?
And why do we need a quorum?
If you're, okay, as I
Why do we
said,
have a member meeting?
well, today, if you did not have the quorum, then the agenda items would not be brought forward.
Okay.
So that's what, now it's time for
I
the
got it.
board
So-
to consider it.
So
and
we've
then
got
come
a
back to
quorum,
you.
correct?
Yes.
We have a quorum.
Yes.
And I think everybody that showed up, and of course you've dithered the day away, and we've had a lot of people leave, but we had enough people showing up thinking that they were going to vote today if we had a quorum, because the bylaws say that member on an annual meeting can vote. Right? Is that correct? Isn't that what the bylaws say?
Yes, and Mike,
Did
that
all
deals
these people,
with,
did you think you were going to vote today if you had a quorum?
okay.
So the question that I have is, you must have thought that they were going to vote today too, correct?
No.
Then why were you
No.
collecting proxy votes?
To get a quorum.
Oh, big deal. You thought they were going to vote, and that's why you did it. You wanted to
Absolutely
have enough votes in your pocket. You
No.
did. You did.
Yes,
You
I
did.
had 10. Do you think 10 is
Doesn't
going to
matter.
make
Why
a
did you
difference?
collect them? Why did you collect them?
Because to reach quorum.
Boy.
But you
that-
can't get agenda items
Sue
without having
Wilson,
a
you
quorum.
are so damn sincere, I can't hardly believe it.
Oh, I'm
And the rest
sorry.
of you people, whom I've had a lot of respect for, I've lost it. I've lost all the respect, and you've lost all the respect to the membership. You've put more mud on your face and more poop in your drawers today than you have this whole last year. Yes, you have.
You're out
Yes,
of
you
order.
have. And I think
It's out of order, Mike.
I still
You
have
are-
time. I still
you
have
are
time. It's
making
my opinion. I
personal
have an opportunity
attacks.
to state this opinion.
You are making personal attacks, and so we
I
need
haven't
to
made it a
stop.
personal attack.
Oh,
You're my representative. I think you've done a damn poor job.
Excuse
Every
me.
one of you. Every one of you have done a damn poor job because you've not paid no attention to the members. You've done whatever you want. That's what tyranny does, by the way. It changes the meetings. It changes the rules. You've got an alleged attorney that's giving you bad advice, and I'd fire him tomorrow. I'd fire him tomorrow. Because you're getting bad advice. And if you don't walk away from today understanding that this community that has no trust in you folks at all, no trust. You've lost the trust. And you've probably lost friends over it too. And that's what I'll say.
Hi, I'm Kathy Hosking, 146289. I don't know about anybody else, but I feel like I walked into a catch-22.
Yep.
You know, and have any of you seen One Flew Over a Cuckoo's Nest? Okay. Is this Wonderland or what? You know, I mean, I spent my life earning money to be able to provide a home for myself in a retirement community. And I just retired in February, so I've been able to come to some of these board meetings. And yes, I was at the last board meeting when people up here were rolling their eyes at what us members, we are the committee. We own this property. We own everything in Sun City because we are members and we bought into this, you know? And I would like to have a say in where I'm investing $400,000 of my money. You know, it's my home that I invested in. That's what my home is worth today. And I have no say. And nobody's going to want to come in here and purchase my home when it's time for me to go into a retirement home or to move on to live with my children or whatever happens to me in the future if they have no say in the property that they purchased. You know, I understand that this is a thankless job. I really do. I'm not business orientated. I'm a nurse by nature. I'm a nurturer. And I don't see any nurturing coming back and forth between this at all. And I'm learning all these rules and regulations and things that I bought into and that my PIF paid for. And I'm just seeing a totally thankless job that you guys have, and I understand that. I understand that it goes both ways. But yeah, as members, and the fact that I paid this kind of money to own a home in a community of people my own age, have the same interest, and then I can begin to learn and know, is sad. It's like I've thrown my money away into the garbage because what I've invested in is no longer there. I feel like I'm living in Wonderland.
Nancy Considine, 160334. I'm here to finish reading Karen McAdams' letter since she's not allowed to. You could still take measures this week to abate the outrage that is simmering in the community. You could celebrate the renewed level of member involvement by not only posting the agenda of the membership meeting on the RCSC website, you're actually obligated to do so, Article 4, Section 1, but by sending out an email blast sincerely congratulating the community for the show of support via proxy ballots and letting them know how many non-proxy attendees would be necessary on Monday to constitute the first annual membership meeting in 12 years. You could devise and publish a plan for the membership to vote on agenda items per Article 4, Section 3 of the bylaws, which provides once a quorum has been established for any membership meeting, not just ones following an onerous petition process, business may be conducted and decided by a majority vote of members present. Encourage the folks to come and make their voices heard. You could consider what apologies may be due for a variety of board actions this year, not least the way you have abandoned Mr. Tolan. It may be an honest mistake, and I hope it is, but you should understand that recent history predisposes people to think otherwise. A bit of repair work may be in order. 4 of you are soon ending your service on RCSC board, while 5 of you remain. Make these 2 meetings of 2021 year count. Finish the year with an unmistakable message to the community that you are there to represent and serve them with a friendly and courteous attitude. It could make all the difference in legacy you leave behind. Sincerely, Karen McAdam.
Frank Spina, 141822. I just want to thank Mr. Collins for saying that you will bring this stuff up at the next meeting. And I would like to remind the board that we took a straw vote earlier. It passed unanimously, all 5 of these.
Yep.
If you come back and say no, it says you're not listening to us, which would be pathetic. Thank you.
We have someone coming up for the first time. Please.
No one there.
Okay.
I just want to remind everyone, there was a small group of us that got together, and we called ourselves the Election Committee, and we worked on formulating good questions to ask the candidates. We formed a Facebook group, I have. We use Talk of Sun City. If you're not familiar with it, it's on the web. It sometimes is finicky. It won't let you, you're not timing me, Mr. Hofer. It won't let you talk.
I will give you the benefit of the doubt, Jean.
Thank you, thank you. We have been, no, I'm sorry, Darla, you don't get the benefit of the doubt.
I didn't ask for it.
Okay, stop.
We've been well represented with letters to the editor and opinions, and I'm asking, we've lost so many of you already because you've grown weary of of not being able to vote. I will tell you, I had read the bylaws, and when I went out and got my proxies, I got 22 of them, I told everyone when they signed that there was not going to be any business conducted today, that you folks had the right to take it back and study it. I was honest and upfront with everybody. Please don't give up. I'm here. Look me up. I'll take your name, your phone number, your email address. Come to the board meetings. We need you to tell the board what you need. Vote. They will care. I know you think right now they don't care, but we have a slate of 7 candidates coming in who, if you go back and look at the candidate forums on YouTube, listen, really listen to what they say. We have Mr. Collins here, who has steadfastly voted no. After Karen left, fired, he has been by himself voting no many times. Just look me up.
Okay,
we have an opportunity.
My name is Helen Lois Yost. My number is 122743. I'm very uneducated and don't have the words to really get my idea over to you probably, but listening to all the problem today, my little speech is very unimportant, but I'd like to tell you anyway. We've lived here for 7 years and we enjoy our house and our amenities that we have at Mountain View, and all I can go by is assumptions of what is happening at Mountain View. The rumor is you're taking things away, making things different, and all I can say is anything that you take away from Mountain View is taking away from the value of my home. I purchased there so that I could use the lawn bowling facilities and the pools and whatever. And if you take some of those away, you're taking away my value. I can no longer go out my back door and enjoy it. So anything that you change, you should not take away of any of the rec centers. If you want to improve them, redo them, but you're not to take them away from us and say that you no longer can lawn bowl because we think pickleball is more important or something else. So all I can say is think very wisely about taking away the value that we have in Sun City.
Thank you. Okay, seeing no other business.
Madam President?
Okay, yes.
Karen McAdam, would you please come up to the microphone?
Oh, no.
I want to apologize to her.
Okay, you may do it from there.
Okay. Karen, I do want to apologize for saying that you lied. I would like for her to answer the question, though.
No, we're not going to do that. We're not doing that.
And I know I'm not going to be able to do it now, but
Yes.
Order.
Let's stop.
We can.
Point of order. We need to hear from our
After these
membership.
questions, she will probably tell you yes. But
We need to hear from our members.
I
so
do
just wait.
apologize to Karen, and I wanted to do it publicly.
Point of order. Steve, may I ask you your point of order?
I just wanted to apologize.
Okay, but what is your point of order?
It's not about this meeting.
Okay.
It's attacking, like, we don't want done, and we're not going to do that ourselves.
Okay, all right, so at this point, seeing no other business, this meeting will then be adjourned. Thank you.
written production of the Recreation Centers of Sun City Incorporated and is intended for the sole purpose of informing our Recreation Center members. Any duplication, copying, transmission, broadcast, or use, including electronic and social media, is strictly prohibited without the prior written consent from the Recreation Centers of Sun City Incorporated. Thank you for watching.